G'day guys, Duckville here. We're going to have another look at a replay from PlayXP today. We do have, as you can see, one of the players, I believe this is the real Leenock from GSL, who went through to the round of 16, I think, and then he unfortunately lost out to, I believe it was one of the Terran players, I can't remember which one. But he has done really well, so very high level Zerg player here. Up at the 2 o'clock position on Lost Temple, and his opponent on the other side of the map, crossbots, down at the 9 o'clock, is this particular player here. His name sort of translates out as a cutesy sort of version of the word, of saying Zerg in Korean. So think along the lines of things like Zergie, and you know, some really cute little anime picture of a Zergling or something like that. But anyway. So I'm going to be calling this guy Zergie, so just be aware of that one, guys. So this is going to get a little bit tricky down the road. I would suspect that this Terran player is going to be called Zergie, and as we can see, obviously his opponent is Leenock. So we're crossbots here on Lost Temple. Lost Temple, not one of the favoured maps for Zergs, generally due to these high grounds at the cliffs, much like they were in Brood War. You can actually, the Terrans can use siege tanks to actually drop up on here, or obviously in SC2 we actually see them use Thors a lot. You can actually put a Thor up on here, and if you put the Thor right about here where this box is, you can actually hit the hatchery at the expansion here. And as you can see, Leenock is indeed going for that hatchery first build. He put that one down on around about 14, I believe, or perhaps that was, yeah, that was 14, and he's about to get the 15 pull, is he? I don't know, he's saving up a little bit of money, so I guess he is. And his opponent, Zergie, is grabbing his racks. The racks is just about done, and we see that he does actually have his gas as well, so we might, we'll have to see what happens on this one here. He's grabbing a second gas, which obviously leans to the fact that Zergie's going to get out some pretty early attack, I would suspect. Perhaps some sort of timing attack with Marauders or something like that. Perhaps he's going to grab some stim, but we'll see what happens. Generally, there's all sorts of paths that Terran can take on this map. As I said, with the drops on the expansion high grounds, and you can do all sorts of drops around the map. We have actually seen one of the other games, if you have a look down in the channel, on the YouTube channel, is Soundwearer against, I can't remember who it was, but we actually saw a lot of drops by Soundwearer around the map, which is a big play on Lost Temple, given that there is a lot to defend. But here we go, we've got Leenock with his drones into the gas. He did actually take one of the drones straight off the gas there. It's a bit interesting. You definitely did see that a lot in SC1, where players would would get very calculated, sorry, with their methods of getting gas and that sort of thing. So leads me to that that Leenock is not going to do anything heavy with gas. So he's not going to go like a massive sort of early roach attack or any sorts of baneling sort of bust at the start. So he's probably just going to get a little bit of gas out and get it in time for his Zerg speed to be ready to go. And as we can see here, we've got Zergie grabbing, he's got 3 racks in total now. He's got one with the reactor building here and another with the tech lab with stim on the way. And let's just have a quick look at the harvesters as well. We've got Leenock in the lead just at the moment with 22 drones out, and obviously the lava injectors on the way here. So he's got he's certainly going to pump some drones, I would assume, and perhaps a few units just to make sure he's got a little bit of defense. As many of you Zerg players would know, playing Zerg is a lot about spending the least amount on your military units to make sure that you can get your economy going as much as you can, because a lot of the Zerg play is based on, do you have enough money to replenish your forces straight away if you lose them? Because obviously the Zerg forces are a little bit weaker in terms of their actual strength, obviously, except for the big boys like Ultralisks and the Broodlords, which obviously do take quite a punch. As you guys know, generally, as we said, the Zerg like to be able to replenish all the units straight away, which is obviously based on the fact that you can get a lot of economy going very quickly with a lava inject. Up here at the Terran base, we've got the orbital command is done there, and he is popping down. He had one mule down here. He actually has a little bit of energy here. I'm not sure why the energy's built up a bit in the orbital command, but we'll see what he does with that. Perhaps he's going to scan and just see what is happening. We do have some roaches on the way from Leenock, so he's going to have a little bit of a push in here. This is this sort of how many roaches we got here? We got 6 roaches here at the moment, which is a bit of an one of these early sorts of attack forces that Zerg like to put up in these sorts of games, is where they try and get in there with some roaches early. But obviously Zergie was prepared for this. He's got his stim done perfectly on time, and he actually takes out all of the roaches for very little losses there. He has only lost 4 units in total, but Leenock has actually lost a total of 7 units for around about 675 resources in total. So we've actually got some spine crawlers going up here, because this is going to be a very early push here from Zergie, and he's got 1 spine crawler up, and he's got a couple of extra spine crawlers on the way. It looks as if he'll need to defend against this, try and hold out until these extra spine crawlers are done, but it looks as if Zergie's going to do a little bit of harass here with the units trying to push in there. He's got SCVs on the way now as well. The SCVs coming down to just check out what's happening down here, but they are going to provide a little bit of a meat shield here. As you can see, the spine crawler was taking out some of those SCVs, and it looks as if there's 2 extra spine crawlers are now done, and that is going to prove just the defining moment there for the Zerg player Leenock, and he's just gotten them out in time, and I guess that is that for the moment. Zergie just cleaning up his Zelnaga watchtower so we can see what's going on his side of the map, and he does control this one down here as well. No, he's actually going to let that one go. So nice sort of last minute defense there from Leenock, as we sort of mentioned before, talking about getting as little military out to make sure that you can pump your economy, which he has done here. As you can see on the harvesters tab, we've actually got 37 harvesters for Leenock against the 21 for Zergie. So Zergie's definitely in a little bit of an economy deficit here at the moment. He does have his engineering bay up and done, and that is actually getting his unit infantry weapons. Sorry, I totally forgot what the word was there. And so he's got that on the way. So we've got a little bit of a macro game going on at the moment, where the 2 players are just going to sort of sit back for the moment. Leenock sees with his overseer that there is a command center on the way for Zergie, so he's going to have the expansion up probably in about 2 or 3 minutes, you would suspect from the timing of that. We've got some banelings on the way here from Leenock as well. The lair is done, and we're going to see the baneling speed. I'm not really sure, but we'll see what happens there. It's interesting to see that roach speed isn't done as well, because as once again all you Zerg players would know, roaches are incredibly slow off the creep, so you have to be really careful when you're microing those around. And it looks as if Zergie's going to take his natural. Here it is, and it is about to go down, and he's going to transfer some SCVs. He does indeed. These guys are going to move over there just to make sure that he's mining efficiently. For any of you guys who are not sure what the whole point of this is, when you are sort of oversaturated at your main expansion, sorry, your main base, your mineral line here, you should generally have about 16 on mining there. But we'll get back to that in just a second. There is another attack going ahead on Leenock's base. He does actually still have these 2 spine crawlers here. They've actually moved up a little bit because he's decided to get another hatchery. And he does have a lot of roaches here at the moment now, along with some banelings up here in the corner. So he probably is going to be easily able to defend off this little force that's just hanging out here. And we do see Contaminate go down on the racks, so he's going to hold up some of these Marines, and we do not see Contaminate enough at the moment. We did see it a lot in Hydra's game against Xenio, where that was actually a really interesting battle of Contaminates, where Xenio was just sticking on Hydra's hatchery with some Contaminates, obviously just massively slowing down production there for Hydra, and so that was a really good play there. So really want to see some more Contaminates when people are playing these days. We got the Overseer up here in the corner. I cannot actually even see it apart from that little bit there, but we got a force moving out here from Leenock. He is actually going to move out here and see what he can do, but there is just the Marines and Marauders just stim away and run off, because there is no way they're going to be able to handle this many roaches along with the banelings here. So we are going to see Leenock actually taking out the rocks at his expansion, and he's doing a really good job with his creep tumors as well. He's spreading out a bit of the creep here, and he's got baneling speed is done. We've also got roach speed as well, so that one is almost halfway done, and it looks as if Zergie's going to take out his own rocks at the moment as well. We did see there was I think there was a changeling somewhere around here, or perhaps, oh, here it was. We had a changeling in the forces there from Zergie. So actually, Leenock actually spotting exactly what was going on here. Now that he's taken his gold expansion, he's going to be probably looking to attack and actually make sure he can defend it, defend the gold expansion once it's up. Some Zerglings coming in here just to check out what's happening. He grabs the ZergRangkke tower and gets a bit of vision here. The other, his buddy Zergling up here, goes down straight away. We're going to have a bit of a push here from these guys, and we're seeing some siege tanks up on the high ground, taking out a lot of the banelings there. Look at all those banelings that actually died from siege tanks, not actually hitting any forces at all. We got a massive marines and a couple of marauders in here, just doing some nice micro here, very much like Fake Boxer did in the GSL last night, which is also a fantastic game. We got some more back and forward here from these two. We're going to see some of the banelings do go down, taking some marines with them, but these guys are going to split up now and go their separate ways. This is the relationship isn't actually working out for them. So we just a little bit of a poke there from Leenock just to make sure he can just see what is happening on the Terran side of the map, and of course to it provides a bit of a distraction so that Zergie isn't doing anything to hinder the progress of this gold base. So let's see what we've got here. We got a contaminate going down on the factory. I'm loving this sort of play here with the Overseer, just holding up the actual production of the tanks here. So Zergie's not going to have as many tanks ready to go. We do have a medevac with a couple of tanks in it as well. So he's probably going to do a bit of a drop over on the Zerg base. We do have a lot of mules being dropped down here. As I mentioned before, Zergie a little bit high on his energy on the orbital commands, and we're going to see this drop going through. He just does not care what can see him, but he's going to drop here on the high ground, and there is just about nothing that is going to stop him. He's going to drop down the tanks here, and they are going to be long distance shelling on the gold expansion that he's decided to go for. He takes out a couple of drones. I think there was 3 drones in total, was it? He's got a lot of kills on these, but I think that was from the banelings before. But we're going to have this spine crawler going down, I think, and also the extractor as well. So we'll have to see what Leenock does to counter this. He doesn't. There's no way, like sometimes you'll see Zerg players actually have a spine crawler over here to defend, but there's no way that that can actually reach across down to the siege tanks, which are all the way down here. So my guess is that we're probably going to see either some mutas, perhaps. We got a spire. We do have a spire building, but it's nowhere near done just yet, and it's obviously not going to help for the moment. And we're just going to see the tanks move up here. He's going to now lay siege to the drones at the expansion there. Leenock just getting some of the drones out. One did go down, but he gets them out just in time. And the Baneling and Roach forces are sort of building up here from Leenock. That's what he's going to do. He's got drop and speed, so he's actually going to drop the Roaches up on top of the high ground here, and it looks as if Zergie was prepared for that, so he's going to take them away. And we've got Leenock, his 4th expansion up here has been spotted, so that goes down. The SCV and the drone are going to have their own little battle here, and so that was a nice little spot there from Zergie. So we'll have to see how he moves around now. You would think that given his position, he might try and expand again. And we actually have another expansion down here from Leenock. He's got a couple of siege tanks just shelling away at this expansion as well, although I'm not sure if he's going to get away with this one. Some Roaches do come down to take out the siege tanks on the high ground. The medic says, to hell with it, I'm out of here. And those siege tanks, you're on your own. The siege tanks do go down, but the hatchery is now on just over half health at the moment. So we'll see what happens with that. The Overseer is also getting out of the main base after putting 1 more contaminate down, 2 more contaminates actually, on 1 marine that was building and a tank that was also on the way. So Zerg is going to be a tiny bit behind on where he would rather be. And we've got a drop coming in from Leenock. He's going to drop in some units over here in the main of